All right, my friends, how are you today? It's a big day. We got a Cancer full moon lunar eclipse happening here on the 10th of January 2020. Now, this eclipse is going to happen between 2:20 p.m. and 2:22 p.m. 222. All right, some sacred geometry there. We've also got Mercury connecting with the Sun. So that's going to happen first. Let me show you the chart here. So Mercury and the Sun, they've been connecting all day on January 9th on Thursday, right? And here at Friday morning at 10 a.m., you see Mercury here, planet of communication, information, is now catching up with the Sun. All right, so between 10 and 11, and now we see Mercury jump ahead of the Sun, right? You know, they stole the fire from the gods to give to the people. The information's coming first. And then, you know, it's like the enlightened information, and then the enlightened awakening happens, okay? Venus is also taking that same role right now. Venus and Mercury both being ahead of the Sun, which means they're going, you know, they're going to skip ahead for a little while. And like pendulums, Mercury only gets about 30 degrees away, and Venus gets 60 degrees, you know, 2 signs away. So later on in the year, you know, Venus is going to retrograde here in Gemini. Mercury is going to retrograde in a few months here in Pisces, going back to Aquarius. Okay, we'll get there when that time comes. However, you know, this is important information. Is again, what we're feeling is ahead of us. Now, what we're going to be thinking is also ahead of us. Okay, the warrior, the hero of our story. Okay, the Sun. So now we see the moon here at 18 degrees. All right, as we go forward a couple of hours here, right around 2 o'clock. Oop, 2 o'clock, we'll go minutes. All right. 2:20, let's go to 2:22. Yeah, there we go. All right, 2:22, 20 degrees, 20 degrees, 20 degrees, okay? All right, so Mercury, again, information, communication, it's insight. Insight is coming into us. The Sun is the hero of our story. This is ego. Our ego connecting with the South Node as well. Jupiter is there connecting with the South Node as well, as its last day at the 8th degree. Okay? The North Node over here in Cancer, shine the light. This is where we're headed. This is where we were. This is where we're headed. Okay? This is an inward journey, okay? An egg broken from the outside, from an outside force, life ends. That egg is done. But when the egg breaks from the inside force, life begins, okay? So this is an inward journey. The North Node down in Cancer, this is internal, okay? So the moon being home in Cancer. Now this is the last time that we're going to get this eclipse. Now eclipses come in pairs. You know, this is the answer to the call that happened last year, because the next time we have this solar eclipse coming up, it's going to be in the sign of Gemini. Okay, so this Cancer Capricorn stuff is going to end. This is the last finale of this series of 5 eclipses that started in 2019. Okay. So again, we're going to see our own shadow. We're seeing the full illumination of the moon. Now it's going to happen again during the daytime, depending on where you're at in the world. So really, you're going to see Thursday night, you know, you're going to see the majority of this full moon illumination. But the impact, you know, this impact happens 2:22 p.m. On Friday. So we're also going to have that illumination continue on into Friday evening. Okay. So what is this really breaking down to, this eclipse on this daily horoscope? This is about letting go of the need to fit into social constructs, the need to let go of fitting in general. You know, this is, again, going inward. What do I really want and desire? What do I really need in this life? You know, there's that great expression, we spend money that we don't have trying to impress people that we don't like. Not that we don't like the people, but the people that aren't in our closest circle. Like, we're trying to impress somebody. You know, we're trying to impress someone. And that's just not where we're at. It's not where we're at in life. That's not where we're at right now. That's not where this eclipse is. You know, we're not trying to impress anyone. We're trying to just be the best version of ourselves. So Mercury and the Sun at the 20th degree of Capricorn, again, is about group competition. Okay, so I talked about this in a much longer video, full moon Cancer eclipse video put out about a week ago, to dive a little deeper if you're interested in that. So this is a need to recognize our growth through trying to compete with one another. Okay, and sometimes we spend too much time trying to do that, trying to find the best memes, you know, to get our pages liked, trying to you know, it's like, honestly, this Australian wildfire thing, okay, it's awful. There's no question about it. You know, life has a way of balancing. You know, it's not a recession. I was talking with someone recently. It's like not a recession. It's a correction that's coming, you know, in 2020. And I love that. I love that, you know, it's a real estate term. It's not a recession. It's a correction, you know, from what's overly inflated. Our housing market is at a 30%, you know, somewhat higher than what it normally should be. Okay, so it's going to correct itself, meaning it's going to knock it back down. So we can say the same with like our egos. Again, the Sun being in Capricorn, big business, big government, Wall Street, you know, and it's just like we feel that we have to dress a certain way, wear that fancy watch, drive that car to get status quo. And it's just like, no, you're going to be acknowledged for your authenticity. And that's what the moon and that's what the North Node are saying down in Cancer. This is about Main Street. This is about connecting with people. You know, again, you got places like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. You know, it's a premium, as you charge a premium for their food. Then you got companies like Aldi's, either way. You know, they're just trying to feed the world. And it's brilliant. You know, so it's just like they've cut costs on everywhere they can to like, okay, we're not going to give you bags because this costs us money. You can buy a bag at 10 cents a bag, or you can think ahead and bring your own bags. You know, save on the waste, save on this plastic we're dumping into the oceans. We don't have a grocer or a grocery cart person, you know, pay a quarter for the cart. You put it back like a respectable human being, you get your quarter back, you know. So it's just like, you know, how are we shifting ourselves to feeding the world with our talent opposed to just charging a premium for our talent? Okay. So going back to that Australia wildfire thing again, you know, it's just like, this is it's a correction, you know, it's like it happens in California, it happens in places all over the world. These fires spontaneously combust. They break out and it's awful, you know, and it's just like, well, what can we humans do about it? You know, there's a lot of things that we can do, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes that are doing a lot of great stuff. It's not the point why I'm bringing this up. The point I'm bringing this up is because on social media, it spreads just like that wildfire of negativity, okay? Now, I just found an article, and I posted it today, about the fresh greens that are already growing out of this, okay? And it's just like the attention that the fresh greens growing is getting is minuscule compared to people still want to talk about the outrage of the fire, okay? So it's, again, this idea of like, what are we feeding our energy into? Are we feeding our energy into this giant pool of negativity to for whatever reason? Or can we shift and focus on this positive? Let's look at, again, a volcano. That's something I've talked about on the show before. A volcano eruption from beneath the sea's surface is horrific. It seems horrific to the wildlife, to the coral reef, to the animals, the fish, and the other creatures in the ocean. You know, it's just like they're hot molten lava. This is torching their home. This is killing tons of fish and tons of things. But then, you know, over a period of time, this continues to happen. And now we have solid ground to stand on. And what happens through this solid ground? We have sprouting of fresh green. Okay. So that's not the whole point of this eclipse. It's just something I'm bringing up because it's very, very important as this is the shift. Some things must fall in order for us to gain something else on another end. Okay. Government, this idea of government must fall. We must see, you know, that's kind of coming up here on the 12th. That's something that's going on all week with this Saturn-Pluto conjunction happening, okay? but the sun and the south node, the sun and Mercury conjunct together. It's just like we have to bring insight into ourselves, into our own lives. We have to see that trying to fit in, by taking, a year and change ago, 2 years ago, when through 2017 to halfway through 2018, well, the North Node was in Leo. It was a beautiful spark of energy, okay, because it was bringing people into their own consciousness, into their ego in a positive way. But there's always two sides to every coin, right? So at the same time, we have people rising up and saying like, yeah, I actually have something to say. I can actually do this. There's a point of speaking my positive truth. There's a point in not, hiding out anymore. Okay. And then on the other hand, we have this galore of selfies and seeking attention in a negative way, or seemingly negative way, or not negative, let's say, seeking attention in a way that's not prosperous to our own expansion, And then what are we doing? We're sitting there and liking it. There's something I've been doing, and I'm actually probably going to put out a video just on this specifically. But it's like if I see somebody posting a selfie on social media, Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and even if I enjoy the image, it's like I'd rather go to their page and see what the last thing they posted is, their poetry, their artwork, something they care about, and instead of giving my attention to the selfie or to the picture of the individual standing there, give it to something they actually care about, some meaning to them, okay? You know what I'm saying right there. So the other side, Cancer moon at 20 degrees, this is about us being so good at our craft, okay? It's taking the time to sit there and practice and practice and practice and hone in on our own skills, that our skills themselves working through us gain the notoriety that we so enjoy to seek. Or maybe not that we're seeking, but that we deserve, right? So by sitting and writing every day in your book, by sitting every day and practicing your instrument, by sitting every day and writing poetry, by sitting every day and taking care of the home, Cancer has to deal with home, heart and home, right? By sitting every day and reading a book, by practicing empathy, by practicing compassion. This is how we get the attention that is proper attention, okay? We're recognized for that, opposed to being recognized for a thing, a material possession, a material item. Again, it's just like the $5 watch and the $5,000 watch do the exact same thing. But one is status quo, one is, sure, the quality of how it's made, and we can go on, I get it. But the fact is they do the exact same thing, So what are we giving our time and what are we giving our attention to? And can we let go of the need to fit in? Can we let go of the need to keeping up with the Joneses? Can we let go of trying to be in on whatever's popular right now? I have no idea what's popular right now. And that's important. I was born on this eclipse in 1982. North Node conjunct the moon in Cancer. South Node. It was a much tighter conjunction. Right now, how we have this, this is 13 degrees apart. Okay, anything within 18 degrees, we're still going to see the shadows. Okay, so we're still going to see just a glimpse of the shadow of Earth on the moon. Okay, we won't see it here in Northern America as the time of day that it's going on at, but. This is important that we recognize, we see the full illumination and we recognize where are we, trying to fit in? Where are we trying to put a square peg in a round hole? Where are we, trying to impress somebody by a thing? Or speaking highly, we do have Mars still in Sagittarius, and a way of Sagittarius is speaking so elegantly and presenting words on a plate, kind of a concept, and it's just like, speak from your truth, from our right here, right? And again, by feeling, Venus in Aquarius, by just feeling, having a feeling for the future, having a feeling of seeing what something could be, not just what is right here in front of us. Feeling that we know there's going to be fresh greens growing out of that Australian brush fires. Okay, we know that life is going to continue, And like, and having that vision of that future is very, very important for us. So it's, again, honing in on our craft, being so good at it that we can see the fruition coming, even if it's not here right now. That, you know, and letting go of trying to fit in with the social concept of reality. That is the biggest thing. We are letting go of trying to fit in with the social concept of reality. That is the epitome of this full moon lunar eclipse, right? Going inward, tapping into ourselves and putting on the horse blinders. Like, what do we need to just alleviate from our own lives to stay focused on our true path in front of us? Stay focused on that. Have a beautiful day, as always. Thank you for being a friend. I love doing this so much, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a happy full moon, fully illuminated eclipse, and we'll see you tomorrow.